All right. We are looking at determining the number of solutions to an equation. And so far we've been solving equations and we get one answer. We get x equals some number, or y equals some number. So sometimes that is not always the case. And so what does it mean for a number to be a solution of an equation? Well, it means that if I take out that variable and put that number in, that makes that equation a true statement. One side will equal the other side. So when I have one solution, that means there's only one possible number I can put in there to that spot where that variable is and still have that be a true statement for one side of the equation to equal the other side. So let's take a look at, we might have some times where that doesn't necessarily happen. So we're just going to solve these equations the way we've been solving the equations. We're not going to change anything about that. So what we have happen here, 5x plus 20 minus 3 equal to 2x plus 3x. So 5x equals 5x plus 17. When I subtract out 5x, I get 17 equals 0. Well, that doesn't work. So let's think about what that could possibly mean. What does that answer tell us? Let's take a look at the other ones as well. We're going to combine some like terms here. This time, I could subtract 9x plus 0 equals 0. This time, not only did I lose my variable, but I lost all my numbers. So here, my variable canceled out. Here, everything canceled out. And over here, that seems like what we're more used to seeing, correct? Sorry, I got zoomed back out there. So when I look here, this is what we're used to seeing. And we know that this tells us that this is the only solution that makes this equation equal to each other, or that makes the equation balanced. So that means there is only one solution to that equation. When I look over here, what this means is no matter what I put in for the x, I could put 1 in, I could put 2 in, I could put 3 in, I could put 4 in, I could put 5.6. It doesn't matter what I put in for x. Anything I put in is going to work. So any number substituted for x will balance that equation. And because of this, it means it has infinitely many solutions. Now my last case down here, when I get 17 equals 0, that is telling me that no matter what I put in there, no number will make this equation balanced. There are no or 0 possible solutions in that case. So as you are doing these problems down here, think about, if you get to the following point solving an equation, how many solutions do you have? Well, -7 equals 1. Well, that's never true. So if you're like, that is never true, 17 never equals 0, -7 never equals 1, there are no solutions. There's never going to be a solution. X minus 19, or x equals 19 rather, so that is just one solution. Like if I get the same thing on both sides like I did here, there's infinitely many solutions. Over here, if you're like, it's kind of the same, but my variables are going to cancel out, and I'm going to be left with like -8. That's going to be that. No solutions. And 1/2 is equal to 5/10. That means I'm going to have the same thing on both sides, so this is going to be infinitely many. Down at the bottom here, we're going to solve these two equations and decide how many answers there are. So I'm going to pause it, I'm going to solve it, turn it back on, see if you get the same thing. All right, with our first one here, you can see that the variables end up canceling out, and I get 4 equals 4 and 8/10 rather. That's never going to be true. So there are no solutions to that equation. When I come over here, I end up with the same thing on both sides, because remember, I can put the 1 or I don't have to put the 1, but that means it's the same thing. That means that no matter what I substitute in for x, it will work. So there are infinitely many solutions.